What is up, my puffer people? It's Kane, your puffer pal, back with another video. And today we are doing a Kingdom Hearts game tier list. You guys loved the last one, and I really want to bring more content to you guys while I'm working on big things. Please, before the video even begins, please consider liking and subscribing, and of course leave a comment if you enjoy the video, but please consider subscribing. It is my goal to hit 100 subscribers, obviously. I've got big things planned for if I can grow subs, but, which I obviously can't do right now. But, there was a lot of support on the last video. The most, viewed video I've uploaded in years, I think, honestly. It's been let's see, 3 years since I've had a video that's successful, so thank you guys so much. It means the world to me. So, this obviously, this is showing KH1, this is going to be, all the versions, it's all the versions of Chain, and so forth. No Melody of Memory. I've never played Union X. Union X is 4, but we're going to pretend this is Melody of Memory, just for the, just to make it so we can have Melody of Memory, since I couldn't find a good tier list that didn't have 8 billion different versions of every game, and, so I'm actually going to delete F tier, because I don't think there are any games really in the Kingdom Hearts series that I like that little, honestly. I love all the KH games, if I'm being completely honest. Let's get into it. So, KH1. KH1 is obviously incredible. It started everything, and it was, at the time, I would argue revolutionary. The fact that you have these two franchises, Final Fantasy characters and Disney characters coming together. The story was pretty simple, at least compared to what we got now. Obviously, there were some sick moments. My Friends Are My Power is an iconic scene. Lead me into everlasting darkness. Great. Just great moments. So let's go over. I'll try to go through a bit of what my mentality is. So character wise, I think Sora is decent in this game. Riku's at his worst. Kairi does nothing. Mickey is hardly there. Donald and Goofy, meh. So at the end of the day, I think character wise, it's actually one of the weaker games because we don't have the organization members yet. And I think Sora's okay, but he's not by any means, as good as he could be. Then story-wise, I think the story's very nice. I enjoy the whole, the Council of Villains, what they're up to, and then Ansem coming in to get Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts, whatever. Using Riku is really cool. And I like the fact that Riku falls to the darkness. I think it's cool, and that they really wanted to just leave their island, and they got this. Gameplay-wise world design-wise, I'd say, and gameplay-wise is where this game shines. Well, the combat isn't as good as in future games. I think the, exploration gameplay is the best it's ever going to be. I think the worlds are designed in a way to where you can explore them, and they feel very fluid, and it feels like you're being put into a real world, which we'll get to KH2 and some other games, which don't feel that way. It feels very non-linear to where, sure, you have, a story, but there's a lot you could do that, doesn't follow the story, which I really appreciate. And overall, I think this is a really solid game. There are some sick worlds, I actually really like Deep Jungle. I know a lot of people don't. Halloween Town's design sick. There are also a few meh worlds, let's be honest. I don't like Monstro. The ship at Neverland is fine, but yeah. And then there are some sick boss fights, of course. So I'm going to put this in A tier. Oh, Chain of Memory, Chain of Memory, Chain of Memory. I played Chain of Memory. It's Let's start with the fact that the story is incredible. Obviously, we're introducing the organization. I absolutely love both Sora and Riku's story. Riku's story of him fighting the darkness and then learning to actually embrace the darkness and kind of using it to defeat the organization members is really sick. And of course, Sora's story of him slowly forgetting who Kairi is, but having these memories replaced with Naminé, and kind of, even when he learns they're fake, still caring about Naminé enough to protect her. It's great. It's great. It's got a relatively dark story. We have Axel killing his colleague, and honestly, I really appreciate that. And I appreciate the fact that this did introduce Axel, you have to remember, who is one of my favorite characters if you saw the tier list last time. But then we get to gameplay. Gameplay. First of all, the room system is fine. I don't love the fact that it's just you going from room to room, making rooms via cards. It's creative, but overall, it's linear. It's very linear, which isn't always bad, but in this case, it is not the best. But then we get to the combat. I do not like the combat in this game. Quite simply for one big reason. And that reason is it feels like it's trying to be a quick-paced game, but the card system makes it to where it's hard to play quick-paced. Like with a card system, you want to think through your actions, but sometimes it's too quick and you really can't think through the actions. It's not the worst combat ever, but it really does get on your nerves very quickly. So I think I'm just going to put in C tier. The combat just kills it for me. The story is great, but I can't get behind the combat. Kingdom Hearts 2. The combat is the best. Oh my god, it's so good. The combat is the best it'll ever be, I think. You've got the summons, which are fun. Each summon is very fun to use. They all have very special and unique gimmicks, I feel like. Forms were sick. Drive forms obviously changed your design, which was very cool. But each of them had a very unique feel to them. You have Valor form, where you're dual wielding and just like you're very powerful. You have Wisdom, where you're like a mage and it's sick. Master, you have all these. It's very cool. But there's one gripe I have with KH2, and it is the worlds. I am not a huge fan of KH2 worlds. I don't dislike them, but they feel very, like how I said with KH1 worlds, they feel like a world where you could explore, do stuff. KH2 doesn't feel like that. Perfect example is Halloween Town. In Halloween Town, you have all these different areas. You have like the main town. You have like a bunch of different areas between it and Uggy's Manor to explore, and then you have the manor to explore, which it's a good amount of exploration you could do. Whereas in KH2, you have Christmas Town, sure, which is kind of cool to explore, but in Halloween Town, you literally have the main town and then a hallway basically leading to the doors. It's just not very, and then you have a few boss fight areas, but like besides that, it's not very explorative or anything. But quite frankly, I don't hate the words, I just can't get behind them as much as I really, really wish I could. Like, even if you compare them to the KH1 worlds, they're almost always, in my opinion, worse. Like, I think KH1 Agrabah's probably better. I think KH1 Halloween Town's better by far. Don't even get me started on Atlantica in this game. Terrible. We do have some really nice gems, though, in Timeless River. I enjoy Port Royal enough. And of course, I really like the Charn World in this game. And then the story. Story is really cool. I love Organization 13 as the villains. I think they make great villains. I think the story of kind of just stopping them, I feel like, is the main story. It's fun. You got the Battle of Thousand Heartless, which is sick scene. And character-wise, Sora is meh in this game. Again, I don't think he's at his best. But Riku, I think, was nice in this game, the bit we got of him. Kairi, I actually think, was at her potentially. No, but it was good in this game. And then we have all the organization members, which all in their own right are great. And of course, that beginning with Roxas is chef's kiss. I'm going to put an A. Coded goes in D. It is just... Okay, so I played Recoded because I did not want to sit through a whole game of this stuff. But just those 3 hours alone were not, no. I just kept getting bored. I just found the story... There was nothing of substance. All that happened was Mickey and Sora found out about the whole Axel, Xion, Roxas trio and the Wayfinder trio. But even then, that's never really brought back up. So quite frankly, I just don't think really anything exciting happens. And that's it. Like, there's nothing to say about this game. It's boring, in my opinion. And even then, I hear the gameplay wasn't that good when I had gameplay. I'm putting this in B, 358 over 2 days. The gameplay, meh. I did play the real game. The gameplay is meh. I don't think the gameplay is anything significant. Where this game shines is the story. The story is genuinely incredible. You have the interactions between our main 3, which is just incredible. Xion, Roxas, and Axel are incredible together. They have great chemistry, and I love seeing everything they do up on that tower. Of course, Roxas, I love the story of following Roxas, of course. Roxas getting weaker as Xion grows stronger until Xion realizes she's just a puppet for the organization and decides to end it. Very sad scene of her death. Obviously, I know people like to laugh because it's like, who will I eat ice cream with now? Which, I mean, is respectable. It's like understandable that they laugh, but I think it's a great just game. I think there's a lot of emotion, and I think it's great. This is going to come as a surprise to y'all. I'm just going to say this up front. I think Birth by Sleep is S tier. I love Birth by Sleep. It is my second favorite game in the series. Birth by Sleep is great. Let me break it down one. First of all, a lot of people don't like the commands. I know. I love the commands. I think they're great. I know people say, oh, it makes like regular attacks kind of useless. In a way, but I think regular attacks still have their use. I think, and I actually really enjoy getting to customize your own command deck, and as you do it, you get to build new abilities, like Leaf Racer and stuff, and strength up, all that. I think the idea of us playing as 3 different characters was sick. Everybody hates Terra. If you saw, I love Terra, I don't love Aqua, but, it's still fun. Real quick mini rating. Rating their stories: 3 Aqua, 2 Ventus, 1 Terra. Terra's my boy. Ventus is fine. Aqua, but I really love this game. I think the gameplay is great. I think the world design is actually pretty good. It's definitely better than KH2. Not as good as KH1, but better than Dream Drop Distance, I would say. I don't know. I think it's good. Let's see. What else? I also believe in my heart of hearts that the boss fights are actually great in this game. I love fighting Sparky from Lilo and Stitch since I grew up with Lilo and Stitch. You get to kind of fight Peter Pan as Terra. You get to fight Captain Hook as Ventus. Who else? You fight Gantu. It's sick. The boss fights are great. And then the story is just incredible. The ending alone makes this, in my opinion, the second best game. Just like dude, it's so sad but great. It's a tragic ending, but in the best way possible, in my opinion. I love how there is no happy ending. None of our heroes end up with a happy ending. Aqua ends up trapped in the realm of darkness. Ventus loses his heart. Terra is possessed by Xehanort, we're not supposed to expect it's telling us you're not always going to get a happy ending. And like this, there is no happy ending right now. They all made mistakes, and because of that, well, Aqua didn't make mistakes. Not Aventus technically didn't make mistakes. Only Terra did. Shut up. They all made mistakes. Anyway, and at the end of the day, they all suffered. And honestly, I enjoy that. What is stream drop distance? It's solid B. Solid B. I'll put it ahead of 358 over 2 days. I think they brought back the command deck. Cool. I enjoyed it. I think they basically brought back, commands. Very cool. The Pokemon or Dream stuff are kind of lame, in my opinion. But if I'm being honest, I just they're cool, but they're just it's not what I want in my Kingdom Hearts game. You know what I'm saying? I think they're cool. They would be cool in a different game, but not in a Kingdom Hearts game, if that makes sense. I just realized back cover is in here. So is Fragmentary Passages in here. Oh, that's so sad. Whatever. I'll talk about those. That's fine. These are the main games, I guess. But so what was I saying? Oh yeah, gameplay wise, it's fun. World wise, I don't really love most of the worlds. I don't like the Hunchback of Notre Dame one. Pinocchio world is okay. The Tron world was horrendous. But then I do really like the world for Fantasia, and Three Musketeer world is very cool too. So the world design overall is fine. This game has Riku, obviously, is probably the best in this game. Sora, they start Sora on the journey of KH3, Sora's story, which I love, so it's okay. And boss fights, there are some really hard and solid boss fights in this game. So yeah, KH3 is my favorite Kingdom Hearts game by far, no debate. I'm just going to put this in detail and then talk about it. KH3 has so much going for it. Combat-wise, it's my second favorite combat in the series. I think the combat's really smooth. I actually enjoy the attractions occasionally. And you don't have to use them. The summons are cool. People say they're overpowered. Sure, but I don't really care. They're fun. I'm including the DLC in this because it's the only one thing. Especially with the DLC, we have some of the best bosses in the series in Yozora and the Limit Cup bosses, and I also really enjoyed Davy Jones, and the final Xehanort fight is great as well. Then we have the story, which is, in my opinion, the best story. Obviously, it's a bit slow at the beginning, but I love everything after. We rescue Aqua's sick. Rescuing Ventus, that's a sick scene. Vanitas was great and hilarious. Woody throwing shade at young Xehanort was great. There's just so much good in this game, dude. I love it. It is so good. Bruh, what other game are you gonna literally have Mike and Sully beating up basically the main villain as a teenager, young adult? It's flippin' amazing. Roxas' return scene literally gives me goosebumps every time I watch it. I watch it, I'm just like, oh my goodness, I just scream. I don't even know what that was, by the way, but yeah, I freak out. It is such a good scene. Oh, such a good scene. Xemnas was sick. Ansem was sick. Everything was sick. They made Luxord sick. Oh, this game is... They took so many characters and made them sick. I loved Vanitas in this game. Even Aqua I didn't mind in this game. So yeah, Taro comeback scene. Real quick, I'll go over Fragmentary Passage, B tier. It's a glorified tech demo, but it is really fun. Back cover, C tier. It's just an hour. Master of Masters is really fun, but besides that, nothing memorable. Melody of Memory, B tier. I enjoy the rhythm aspect. Story-wise, it's pretty weak. It's very weak. So there it is. That is my Kingdom Hearts game tier list. Let me know if you agree or disagree. People are definitely going to disagree with my two S tiers, but that's fine. That's the point. It's, so we can discuss. We all have different opinions, but that's what makes the world go around. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a blast. I'll have more content coming soon. Please leave a comment, helps the algorithm. Please leave a like and please subscribe. It would mean the world to me. Hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time, my puffer people, stay puffed.